I'm 42, my libido's through the roof. I'm enough for 10 women. So you can't possibly be in my house in multiple houses.
Every year I get older, I'm like, what am I gonna do?
What is going on?
I have to have sex every day, and I can't.
We got to get married. We got to find a husband so we can just take him down every morning, every night. Even
because it doesn't used to be this way.
Yeah, let me take a sip. Oh Lord have mercy.
Hey, a lot of got dead older women, but they do still suffer from an ailment, a sickness called hungry vagina syndrome, and a lot of these be so hungry, these old, that they could burp with it after sex. Man, Little Shop of Horror Seymours. They got Seymours down there.
They got little.
Some can burp more meat with they more meat. Nah, but older they be really they love, and they sex drive when they over 40 is really high.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Internally, it disconnects from the uterus and connects to the stomach. That's why they like to a lot. They got high sexual appetite.
Now you just make fun of it, but no, it's true. It comes back. Your libido really bounces back.
Well, she's going to tell us what she's currently doing with her cheeks.
Huh? I haven't had sex in a year, and it's not because I chose to be celibate. Hold on, Jason. This is not a choice. I'm being transparent right now. Okay. It just happened like this because I'm not into casual sex, so I'm putting it out there. This is not I chose to be celibate, and I want to do it. I'm being honest. Like, I'm 42. My libido every day, all day is like, so I said to him, well, what if we be companions and do the do and get into this thing and let this take its form?
Meaning sexual partners.
Can you take it down? Yeah. Like, I want it. I'm attracted to him.
So this was a conversation
He covers me. This man spoils me. He loves me. He wants to marry me.
No, bro, nowadays females will give you some pussy before they buy you a burger.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because the burger holds more value. In a real way, bro.
Every relationship shouldn't be based off sex, but every relationship is based off of that.
I don't think so.
100%. You can't tell me nothing different. This is what I feel, and that's why I'll never be in another relationship, because it's always based off of that.
So you're not going to be in another relationship?
Hell no. For what? Because it's going to be based off the sex. Once that wear down, you're going to go find somebody else that's better.
You said, like, literally, there's been 4 times that you almost went down the altar.
I almost went down.
Yeah. Why hasn't it worked? And whose fault is it? Why hasn't it worked for you?
For the first few, I was low functioning, and I was still in my healing journey. And so I law of attracted low functioning.
That happened all 4 or just the first?
The first, I would say like the first 2 or 3.
2. Yeah, that girl's out her f***ing mind, bro. She is f***ing delusional. What the f***?
Definitely low functioning of myself.
How were you low functioning that found things that where you thought this was your match, this was your person, and then it still didn't go through because you were low functioning?
I take accountability. It was my fault because I knew all of them were not my person. And so this is why I say it's not their fault, because these men wasn't no infidelity. You know, they weren't beating on me. I attract good men, but I wasn't in the space of being ready to marry them. But I needed them to be good for me, Nick, because I needed something good to be reflected on me for my healing journey.
Or whoever is responsible for this caption, whether it's clickbaity or not, it's like it's supposed to be a dig at her that she's a 41-year-old relationship coach or whatever the case is, and she's single. We looked at this woman. She's highly intelligent. She's, probably gainfully employed. She might be single by choice. But, like, people don't... What? That's right. Walk it off. Walk it the off.
Don't throw up. Don't throw up. Don't do that.
There are so many women over 40 who are not in a loving, caring relationship with a man. But here's the kicker. They have no idea why. Why is that? Why is it that so many women they're clueless to their autism? Because so many women act like ain't nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with everybody else. Why don't over-the-hill women realize they are the common denominator to unhappiness in their lives?
Wow.
Sure. They're always acting like somebody else is the problem. So, Sherelle, I ask you, Do you know that you are insane? What?
Dead Devil Storage says she just needs to be alone. That's the only solution for her. She wants all of that plus access to the funds. Get the entire out of here.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got real people on the internet.
So, yes, have him calling. I want to know how many kids he got, what is his income, and how many times he been married. And he might be right. I might need to be alone because I'm always in a relationship because I don't seem to have an issue with getting a man or ring or anything else I want. So
I was just addressing Mel's point.
But
she's
that's
she's
being
41,
used.
she's successful, and she's attractive. So that potentially could mean that she's single by choice. That don't necessarily mean that.
It don't have to mean.
Because it's a lot of attractive 40-something-year-old women, and just from my own personal stance, I don't feel like fighting nobody. A lot of them are not single by choice because I know some of them.
Why? So what are they? Why are they single?
I think it varies per person. Everybody ain't
undesirable.
So as long as women are very confident that that constitutes a large, sizable portion of males out there, yeah, she's like, dude, I'm not gonna have to sit down at more than 2 tables before I find one of your sad sack, sorry ass brothers out here who's been alone for so long that he'll go ahead and cash in.
It takes more than just body in our 40s.
It takes more than just looks.
You are.
Oh shit.
You are cruising for Bruce.
I ain't even peeped that. I ain't even peeped that.
Like savages.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, we are about to embark on a journey, and this time the struggle doctor is straight in the crosshairs. No quarter, no love. You messed up and tore your backside on this one. Clout chasing and money making. We can only guarantee to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. So let's get on up and get into it. Are you ready? Let's go.
Well, polite savages, it doesn't matter the age of a woman. Just like Joy Taylor, 38, and Cheyenne Bryant, 42 years of age. It all comes down to the same thing with these women. And the one thing that they offer is the same Venus flytrap between their legs to ensnare and take down a man and his finances. Yes, lady, you can go and drop your pants. But how does that enhance a man's life when he can get that from around town? From any woman willing and able to get down with him for that night. So why would a high value man, or a producer, or a man of means, or a Blue Henry, a man of means and capabilities to bring a value to any woman's life, wants to slow and settle down to date a 40-year-old woman and a woman that's almost 40 years old, both with masculine attitudes, bad boss B energy, when the same man can find a feminine, beautiful, submissive, cooperative female, willing to submit, get our knees, and please her man any way that she can.
That's a form of insecurity when you lie about who you are. And check this out. From what I understand, she's got juice with the NAACP.
He said she was the president of the NAACP.
Talking about dating over 35 with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You are a psychologist, a life coach. You've been on MTV. You are the president of the NAACP branch. You're an author. I could go on and on and on, but thank you so much for being with me.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is not the president of NAACP, but she is the president of an NAACP chapter. I was freaking amazed. But then again, I remember, wasn't Dr. Cheyenne Bryant the same woman that said this?
Phil, I want to be penetrated.
Imagine the president of the NAACP or a chapter like that saying something like, I want to be penetrated. That's the damn president of a chapter who don't even have really legit doctorate degrees. And you're talking about on like television shows how you wish the dude would clap your cheeks because you want to be penetrated. But this is a whole NAACP chapter president based off of internet clout. We'll stop the show. Rachel Dolezal was an NAACP president chapter in Tacoma, Washington, so we all know what ended up happening with her.
A white woman who identified as Black, Dolezal, who legally changed her name to Nkechi Diallo in 2016, was fired from her job as an after-school instructor at an Arizona elementary school after the school district discovered her own account. In the ensuing media frenzy, she resigned as president of the Spokane chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, and was dismissed from her faculty position as a professor of African Studies.
She ended up busting it open on OnlyFans. And Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is good looking, so in case she falls, we know where we could possibly find her at. But I'm just saying, man, I can't take the NAACP serious if you got people on there talking about they want to get their cheeks slapped.
I see so many women in bad situations. They have no idea that they created the bad situation. This is what I'm trying to say. How can so many women be clueless about their results in life?
Lack of knowledge, you know?
Man.
Illiterate. I feel personally that a lot of the chaos that's going on has a lot to do with women.
All of it.
Craig say all of it.
All of it.
Oh, wow.
Polite savages. What you see here with Miss Sherelle Pierce is another one of the sisterhood stepping in to defend the sisterhood's bad choices and decisions. But every once in a while they break down and admit to their own bad decisions, as seen from her flip-flop response from the beginning of the video to the clip right here, where once you get them past their emotions and allow their rational, logical thinking to come into action, the light bulb flashes right on, and finally with a flip-flop response comes into agree with what us men have been saying. It's just like pulling teeth out of a shark or an aardvark, a damn near impossible task unless the modern woman comes to conclusion herself, which causes men to start thinking like Mr. Paul Pierce.
Marriage is for old people and poor people.
So let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married. We're gonna put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, back in the 60s, all them, they're gonna have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
You poor. So you married for that. And now when you get old, somebody that to be by your side to take care of you. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through. Outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage an advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like, we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, but it's only advantageous to a woman. Like, it's real talk.
But what if you meet a woman and you're like, wow, she's a gem, she's valuable, she's everything, and I want to lock her down in marriage?
I don't want to lock no woman down. We could be cool.
So you're telling me right now today,
you
on January 4th, you do not want to be in a relationship ever again?
I don't think it's realistic long term until I turn 70.
I am done. I've never been more done with a motherfucker.
I'm 47 right now. Until I turn 70, that's the only realistic part I see is because we both old. We ain't out in the streets. We at home watching TV. You go take me to the hospital, I'm going to take you to the hospital. That's it. But right now, I'm too cracking right now. So what do I need to do?
Is it because you feel like you have?
Now I know, lady polite savages. Not all men think like this, and Paul Pierce an exception, because he is an NBA Hall of Famer, having made millions over the course of his career. But ladies, you gotta be looking here. What appears to be a man's cynical take on the world is what many men have come to the same conclusion about these women that are acting like little girls. And unfortunately for the many modern women out there, the modern men of many kinds, shapes, sizes, types, colors, and creeds are coming to the same conclusions. They're all seeing the same damn thing, perceiving the same damn plight, that they're getting the short end of the stick when it comes to dating the modern woman.
The reason why young men especially are hesitant to get married is because for a lot of men, they don't see any benefit from it. You're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. If someday she could say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this anymore, I'm going to divorce you, but you're still going to be responsible for paying for me for the rest of your life.
Men not dating and not getting married, dropping out from life and not partaking in the economy by not spending money because for one, they aren't making enough, and two, the standards for the modern woman has increased, demanding more from the average modern man while bringing less value to him in comparison to these modern women's mothers and grandmothers and ancestors of the past, which has been cheekily coined by a new definition and terminology in Wholeflation. The price of the woman has gone up, and I'm not talking about buying her or anything like that. I'm talking about to date her, but her value, what she can bring to a man, peace, loving support, a sexy body, a beautiful personality, has greatly diminished in value. It's getting so bad that men altogether not even doing this anymore.
Study on date psychology recently revealed that 48% of men 26 to 40 years old have not approached women in the past year, and 60% of men aged 18 to 25 said they haven't. In the entire dataset, 30% of men said they never approached a woman in person before. Ever.
They actually went into the reasoning behind these men not going and speaking to women. Scared of rejection, scared of like an HR response or being reported or Me Too'd in some way, shape, or form, not being successful, and just not feeling the need to walk up to women anymore was also one of the many answers that men gave on the list of reasons why they no longer approach women.
That's all I got for you, you polite savages. Like and subscribe, hit us up on all social media networks.
We found true happiness